Catch this.
I have to talk about a very special guy that I made Secretary of the Interior. Does he know the Interior? He knows it. He loves it. He loves seeing it and writing on it. Ryan Zinke.
One of the things we know for sure is that the proposals that are coming out of the Department of Interior are not well considered and well vetted. My name is Sean Hecht. I am the co-executive director of the Emmett Institute on Climate Change and the Environment at UCLA School of Law. In my view, there's been a real break with policies of previous administrations in the sense that Secretary Zinke and the Trump administration in general are really focused on energy development and production, or what President Trump calls energy dominance. The Trump administration has issued a map that essentially says the entire coastline of the United States is fair game. We're going to get oil and gas everywhere, regardless of what the science says about it, regardless of public opinion.
The war on American energy is over.
Very shortly after the proposal came out, the governor of Florida said, we don't want this in Florida. And the Secretary of Interior, Zinke, said, oh, well, we probably won't do it in Florida then.
Apparently everybody else is on the hook, and just Florida doesn't have to do it anymore.
This is not how federal agencies are supposed to make decisions. It's not supposed to be that the Secretary of Interior or another high official can just make a public statement or issue a tweet or do something else on the spur of the moment that sets policy. And in fact, we don't know if we can rely on those public statements.
Florida did not get an exemption.
Does that still stand? Is Florida off?
Yes.
The policy changes and the arbitrariness of it really pervade the agency at every level. So Secretary Zinke often has made reference to Teddy Roosevelt as an idol of his. I find that really mystifying. The point of designating a national monument or Congress creating a national park is to restrict the kinds of uses that might harm scenic resources, scientific resources, historical resources, and recreational resources. I see Ryan Zinke's Department of Interior as being very close to the opposite of that. One of the things that we see, particularly with the New Bears Ears Monument, is that the Trump administration, again, is really privileging extractive industries. And that was found through documents that were uncovered from the Department of Interior that made clear that it was resource extraction that was driving some of the downsizing of those monuments.
It's not a hoax, but it's not proven science either.
Climate change is real, it's happening, it's affecting resources in our national parks, our national forests, and our BLM lands. The Trump administration has been actively suppressing the use of the best available science to try to address the impacts of that on park resources. There was an executive order that was issued in March of 2017, which was titled Promoting Energy Independence and Economic Growth. And what that executive order did, among other things, is it rescinded or suspended a whole set of prior policies and executive orders that required the federal government to consider climate change in its decision making. We've also seen a bunch of decisions in which it's clear that the Department of Interior is scrubbing references to human-created climate change in the work that it does. I think it's fairly straightforward why ignoring climate science is a bad idea.
And I'm a geologist.
So I understand that he has a bachelor's degree in geology. I think most scientists would not call someone with a bachelor's degree in any science, a scientist in that sense. It's hard to say what it is that he thinks.
And I'm a geologist.
Certainly his agency is not respecting science in a lot of its decision making. But it is still very, very clear that a scientific approach is essential to making the best decisions when you're managing the lands.
As Roosevelt once said, it's not what we have that will make us a great nation, it is the way in which we use it.